Hello and welcome to another edition of Fake News with me, Nicholas De Santo. Wherever you are in the world, this bulletin reaches you in your local time. It's great to be back with you because thankfully Greta Thunberg was wrong. 5 years ago she predicted the world would end at the end of last month, June 2023, if we didn't stop using fossil fuel. But we are still here. It's almost as if climate doomsday warnings is just a lot of hot air. That was a little pun out there for you pun fans. Now, if you want to watch me live, I'll be performing on Sunday, 30th of July in Nuneaton, Warwickshire with Barnyard Comedy Club. I'll be with great Steve Hughes in a big barn for a club with close links to awake farmers, if you know what I mean. And on Saturday, 19th of August, I'll be with Speakeasy Comedy Club in Swansea, the Socialist Republic of Wales. Details of both gigs in the description. If you are in America and know a club which might be interested in my material, please let me know. Now let's get to the news and what's been happening since the last time we met. The BBC was hit by a new scandal as it emerged that one of its flagship news and special event presenters, Hugh Edwards, had allegedly paid a teenage boy for indecent pictures. Following public outcry, the BBC was undecided whether to cover the story up or treat Mr. Edwards as a hero and victim of homophobia. I guess they are doing a bit of both. Another scandal, but across the Atlantic, secret agents found cocaine in the White House, but the FBI said they can't identify the owner of the cocaine. The FBI said they also can't identify the race committing all the lootings or the religion committing all the terrorism. Liberté, égalité, diversité. In Brussels, leaders of the European Union approved the so-called Migration Pact, which imposes migrant quotas on all member states. The pact was adopted by the 27-nation bloc despite protests from Poland and Hungary. Reacting to their objection, French President Emmanuel Macron said, "I don't have time to respond to these racist bigots who don't recognize the value of migration and diversity, because I must rush home as Algerians have turned France into crème brûlée." Ukraine Recovery Conference was held in London, where Western leaders said it was okay to spend billions more for the reconstruction of Ukraine, even if the country has been repeatedly listed as one of the most corrupt in the world. Western leaders also said from now on it's okay to give money to homeless people, even if you are sure they'll spend it on alcohol and drugs. Still in Europe, Latvia has a gay president. Right on the Russian border and NATO's eastern flank, Latvia is now led by Edgars Linkevič, who was sworn in as president and became EU's first openly gay head of state. Just when you thought you couldn't have stronger sympathies for Vladimir Putin. By the way, weren't Latvians just gay Russians anyway? Former Italian Prime Minister Silvio Berlusconi died, a remarkable leader. He was the first Prime Minister of the Republic to complete a full term. He ended state monopoly on national TV by launching his own TV network. He presided over AC Milan becoming the second most decorated football club in Europe, encouraged Russia to join G7, turning it for a while into G8. He also reached a deal with Gaddafi so he would patrol Libya's coastline, protecting Europe against hordes of immigrants, therefore delaying the erosion of European identity. But upon his death, mainstream media decided to portray Berlusconi as sleazy by focusing on his alleged relation with a sex worker. Then, for the rest of the month of June, they focused on celebrating sex workers. Italian conservative media were incensed to see Canadian Prime Minister lecture his Italian counterpart on LGBT rights during the G7 summit in Japan. Justin Trudeau was unhappy about Giorgia Meloni's policy of defining families with two biological parents. Yet of all people, surely Justin Trudeau must recognize the importance of growing up with one's biological father. Don't you think so? And as if we already didn't know, after 3.5 years investigation, Special Counsel John Durham published his 300-page report, which essentially confirmed that Hillary's campaign, Obama administration, and FBI colluded to subvert the outcome of 2016 elections against Donald Trump. The so-called Russian interference thesis, a conspiracy hoax religiously promoted by anti-Trump media for 4 godforsaken years. Reacting to the report, mainstream media said, okay, maybe we got that one wrong, but remember, climate crisis is still real, and Islam is still the religion of peace, and BLM protests were mostly peaceful, and Biden really won 2020 elections. In England, a man in Nottingham went on a knife rampage, killing 3 and injuring 3 more with a van he stole from one of his knife victims. Nottinghamshire police said they were keeping an open mind about the man's motive, which is code for "we are praying to the Lord that he is not a Muslim." And the Lord answered their prayers. The suspect turned out not to be a Muslim, but black. Okay, we are now halfway through the show. Thanks for watching so far. If you want to see the rest of this episode, please join me on any alternative platform listed in the description. Thanks for supporting independent, anti-woke comedy. Let's make news great again.